Welcome back, everybody, to our coverage of the Champions Chess Tour. Joined once again by the one, the only, Alexandra Kosteniuk. Alexandra, thanks for joining us in what might be another short round, but we will see. I don't know.
Hi, Levi. Hi, Anna. Well, always a pleasure to join you and to watch the final round for today, right? Most exciting one, I believe.
Hopefully, it's going to be an exciting one. But yes, we are seeing these moves blitzed out in the Dubov game against Hikaru. So Hikaru with the black pieces. We were discussing with Alexander that, of course, for Hikaru, a draw would be a great result because he's doing excellent in the preliminaries. He has been winning his games with the white pieces and drawing with the black pieces. But is that something that Dubov would want for this game? What do you think?
Well, I mean, so far it's a very known, I think, to both players theoretical lines. At least the speed they're blitzing out the moves is amazing. And it just tells us that they're still in their home preparation. And well, of course, Hikaru should be glad to make a draw, but at the same time, Daniel. Okay, let's wait. Look, he's just repeating the moves.
no.
So I will not say anything what I was supposed to say. That, of course, Daniel will not be happy with the draw. I mean, because that's, well, we see
They
it.
drew.
Yes, they drew. It's over. Well, at least when I come, Hikaru makes a fast draw, a quick draw. So if Hikaru wants to make a draw, you invite me. And then it's over in like a few seconds.
Oh my gosh.
Well, this is quick. That means that we're gonna have Hikaru joining us soon. I think that's what it means. So that's great. Levi, I hope you saved that four commentator
I didn't delete anything.
template.
Don't worry.
And before Hikaru joins, I think a very important call to action. We were looking at the follower number of Alexandra, that's Chess Queen on Twitch. Alexandra is at 21,000 at the moment. Can we get it to 25,000?
Wow.
Can we?
Anna likes big goals, right?
Exactly.
I can't hear you. Let me just turn my volume up.
Exactly. Can we make it to 25,000? Hikaru, hello.
Oh,
One second. Let me change my camera.
Yeah, we got side cam Hikaru. Oh, there we go.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. How you guys doing?
We're good. I knew that was gonna happen. Did you know the whole time that was gonna happen? That there was gonna be a Catalan?
No, but I mean, I think the thing is for Dubov, he had a very shaky day. Like, I mean, he should have lost his game to Pichot, if I pronounce it correctly, in an early game, and then he was also losing to Anish, who made a draw. So it seemed like he was losing a lot of games today, and so I kind of had a feeling that because of the fact he was able to salvage those games and make draws, that he might just make a draw to end the day and then go into tomorrow, because again, it's still very, very tightly bunched.
Makes sense. And for you, we were thinking, but it's been just going really well today. How would you sum up today's 5 games?
Yeah, I mean, I had 3 quick draws with black, and then in both my white games, my opponents kind of went into some of my preparation. The game against Alan was very, very complicated in the middle game, but I think he was a little bit lower on time throughout, and that played a big role in terms of my win. In the game against Levon, I don't know if he hadn't looked at this variation or what, but I mean, I haven't looked at the game, but I know that when I looked at the line before the game, after Queen B6, Knight takes D5, he was supposed to take with the pawn on D5 and not play Queen takes B3. So I don't know if I played it correctly after that, but in my preparation, I looked at pawn takes Knight instead of Queen takes B3.
Chat was a lot of people have been running your games through the chess.com thing, and they were like, he played at 99.2, and I was like, nice. Actually, word for word, I said, why didn't he play at 100%? But
in which game?
The Aronian game was 99%. That was a
really. I was told by my second that Bishop F1 was wrong. The Bishop D7 was the winning move, not Bishop F1.
You probably have a stronger computer.
So. Oh, okay. Okay. Well, I mean that explains a lot too, because I was kind of unhappy about something separate, which is Chess24 decided to implement a policy today that they were going to basically check the players' ears to see if they didn't have anything. And I noticed that after both my wins, they asked me to do this, but they didn't ask Magnus at all. And I don't think they asked Wesley either, even though he won more games than me. So I'm a little bit unhappy about that, to put it mildly.
Sorry, Hikaru, I was just puzzled. What does it mean to check the player's ears? What do they do?
They just really
Well,
like his
basically,
ears. Oh, no,
I mean,
go ahead.
before the game starts, they ask you to show your ears to like the second webcam, the side webcam. And I noticed after both my wins, they did that, but I don't think that, I mean, I definitely didn't see them ask Magnus at any point, and I didn't see Wesley either. So, I mean, I found, I mean, maybe they did ask Wesley, I just didn't see it, but considering that we're all sitting on our computers right before the games and I didn't see anything, it struck me as a little bit
Oh,
insane.
I think it should be considered as a compliment. That means that you played so well, you know, the accuracy, whatever they checked. And I mean, Carlsen and so well, they won their games, but not so, not so convincingly. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, if your opponent walks into preparation, I mean, that's life. I mean, it's like that's just how it goes. But frankly, I thought it was a little bit weird because it's supposed to be, you know, everyone. It's not supposed to be we're going to single out players based on, you know, game X or game Y. So I found that a little bit weird. But anyway,
I feel like every time you play one of these events, it's a little bit like, you know, the fighter who goes to fight in like hostile territory and has to be a little like it feels like there's always some new drama. Like, what is this ear thing? Like, it's never happened before, right? This is the first
They
time.
asked us. They asked us during Women's Speed Chess Championship last year.
Yeah.
They checked our ears. I mean, but it was, well, to me, it's a little bit ridiculous because okay, they ask us to turn the head. I mean, they will never see a headphone. I mean, small. Well, nowadays they're so small. I mean, if a player wants to hide it, I doubt it's gonna. I mean, it will be possible to see it.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? But I mean, mainly the reason that it's annoying to me is because I just didn't see them ask anybody else, and like, I mean, I'm pretty sure Wesley's having a better day than I am, and Magnus also, maybe even Anish for that matter. So I mean, it struck me as a little bit odd considering first of all it was a new thing they only instituted yesterday. They wrote an email after the event had started, and then secondly that like from what I saw, I was the only person they asked. So I just find it a little bit weird. It's kind of typical. It seems like every event that I play in, there's something, but nonetheless, it was a pretty good day. Like I said, Levon walked right into my preparation, and Alan as well. Although he actually out-prepared me in that game because he came up with this knight f4 move that I simply hadn't looked at. And then that game was very messy. But again, it is what it is, and you keep going.
So we're not surprised to see Wesley back in the mix, right? Like that yesterday, he wasn't in the top 8. We kind of. Alexandra, I'm not sure how much you've been following. I'm honestly hoping you had an opportunity to go figure skate again. I think yesterday you said did you say it was the last day yesterday?
Today is the last day.
Today's the last day.
It's over. Now we need to wait till December.
Wow, that's so long. Oh my god.
Yeah, but time flies. We can play chess meanwhile.
Yes. Wesley started today with like two good wins. I think he's won 3 games today, right? He also beat Jordan, so
yeah, I mean, Wesley's having a great day. I kind of expected that from him. Although he got off to a really great start because like his game against Levon just blundered in the opening, I think. So it was it was kind of weird. But again, it's a tough event. It's long, and I mean, I think everybody's still in it. At least like those. I mean, if I take care of business tomorrow, I should be in the top 8. But yeah, I think it's but yeah, it's what it is.
I was gonna pull up some games by players who are not quite in the top. So like a Nepo game, Nepo versus Grandila. So Nepo has 15 minutes on move 18.
Yeah, and minus 2, right? Position or something like this.
If Niels finds D4 here, Niels has to find D4. That's the move, apparently. But yeah, Nepo is on the verge of.
Well, I mean, I like Nepo's attitude today because again, at this point he has to win games. So you throw the objectivity out the window and you just play. You just try to play your game. Like you don't really worry. Like if you lose the game, you lose the game. But the only way you get in is with wins. So you have to kind of go crazy and play like this. So I think it's very justified by Nepo, and I really like it.
Did you see his game versus MVL?
No, I saw Timur's game against MVL. I didn't see Nepo's game against MVL.
Yeah, that was also funny. Timur, the last 2 games has just gotten like obliterated, which is so weird because last event he didn't lose at all in the preliminary stage. So he's just lost back-to-back games, which is rare. No, the game between Nepo and MVL was B3 A5. and then E4,
Oh
A4.
yes, oh yes. I remember. I saw the opening, but I didn't look through the whole game. I only saw the opening.
And clean win. Very Nepo just
Yeah.
the two candidates leaders B3 A5. You love to see
It
it.
was beautiful to see. And then the second game he lost, Rajabov, it was against Ali Reza, but in a very strange way. It was a very, very obvious blunder. He blundered a double attack and lost a piece with it. That was the stranger one, in my opinion, that big mistake.
So Wesley and MVL have made a draw. That's not unexpected. So Wesley at 6.5, MVL at 6. So who else is there? Any other interesting games? I was about to say Dubov, then I remembered that he's done. Firusha Picho is yeah?
I was just going to
Niels
say that
found
Niels
D4,
has
by the
played D4.
Oh, he just found D4. Yeah, sorry. Looked away. Uh-oh.
Yeah, no, I think it's been a rough tournament. Also when you start off badly, this pressure that you feel to try and win games, like you can't really play your game anymore. It's just this building pressure, and with every game that you don't win, like if you draw like the first game, first two, it just keeps building on itself. So sooner or later, I think it's very easy to just lose control and just play like B3 or any kind of random openings and just play.
So there's what happened after D4? E4. So we're gonna get Bishop takes F4.
Mm-hmm.
Can he take on
yeah.
D4? Rook takes D4. Can he take on D4?
Yeah, but Bishop D3. I'm sure it's winning, but like you start worrying about magic tactics after Bishop D3. Like Bishop F4, Queen F2, and I don't know if there's like some Knight B5 or H6 Knight B. You just start worrying, I think, about random tactics. Yeah, because you end up with here, Alexander. You end up with the it's not an isolated pawn because there's a pawn on C2, but you're going to get some Knight D5, I think, and White won't be able to take. And so structurally, the bishop is dead on B2, and there's like a Knight E3 coming. So that's actually why this is probably just lost. Because Queen G2, Knight D5, and what's your move even?
Queen G2, okay. Queen F2.
Mm-hmm. And he's hoping for FG4, Knight E2, some kind of tactics.
Yeah, with the X-ray.
Yeah.
Isn't there Knight D5?
Well, then GF5 maybe.
No, I meant like FG, Knight E2, Knight D5.
Yeah, and then C4,
C4.
Knight E3. This is typical Nepo, but either it works or it doesn't work at all. But probably the computer says minus 1.8 or something right now, so I'm guessing FG must be right.
What a strange oh my gosh, I just saw the whole opening. F3 H4.
Nice.
Nice.
Well, he is very creative.
Wow.
This is very
I remember that
style.
Hikaru was saying that Dubov is the one who plays creatively. And look, Jan is also trying his best in this tournament.
Yeah, it's amazing. I feel like we haven't seen a Dubov style victory yet. I feel like he's won a few games just like normal. He hasn't won any crazy sacrificing two pawns and H4, H5 and attacking. So
this is where, since I played him today, I'm gonna, maybe I'll play him if he makes it into the top 8 as well. But I'm gonna give a very hot take here. And I'm just gonna say it because there are a lot of people watching, and I think it's true. I feel like whoever told Dubov to play the Catalan with White is doing him a big disservice, because I don't feel like it fits with his style. When he started playing it, I think in the last event, like the normal one, not like the specific one he did against me, but like just a classical Bishop G2 castles, Queen C2. I felt like it's not in his style at all, and I feel like whoever told him to play that, it's not what he should be playing. It just stylistically, it doesn't feel right, because there are too many ways Black can just play normal slow lines versus the crazy lines like he got against Magnus that match they won 2 tournaments ago. So I actually think that it's kind of a mistake that he's playing that. Just, it doesn't, to me at least, it doesn't feel like it fits the style. He got bad positions today, and I just think whoever told him that is just crazy.
Oh, poor guy.
Well, I think
it makes sense that stylistically it's not the perhaps
But
the
at
best
the same
fit.
time, it's interesting because I remember when Hikaru, when you started to play this Queen's Gambit for Black, I mean Queen's Gambit declined, like this classical lines. I was looking at your games, and I was also telling, I mean, myself that it doesn't. I mean, well, as I can see, it doesn't quite fit your style, but somehow you kept insisting and kept playing it. And I mean, maybe it's not such a bad idea to play something that doesn't quite fit your style, because it you know, it evens I mean, your style in some way. I mean, if you like to play creatively, or then playing a classical opening can be quite a decent choice.
Yeah, I think actually a good example of that is Kramnik, because after he became world champion, he started playing E4. He played D4 his entire career, and then he started playing E4. So he just, I mean, and he lost some really bad games, I recall. Like there was this game against Topolov that I think he lost in Nidor from like 20 moves or something. But yeah, it can work both ways, obviously. I just like Dubov really likes creative positions, and I feel like the Catalan, if you don't play the early pawn takes pawn and try to save up the pawn on C4, do these crazy variations and try to punish your opponent, that it's very dry. There's just, you have to be very technical, and there's just not a lot to it. But of course, I mean, everyone makes their decisions. But I would argue, Alexandra, to your point about the Queen's Gambit decline, it's a black opening. So with black, it's different than white, I think. Like
Right.
because as we know from this event, with white, you're supposed to try to put pressure on your opponent. You're supposed to try and win. Whereas with black, you're supposed to try and be solid, normal.
Solid,
I mean, that's
yes.
the traditional way. Although, like, you know, it's got to be weird, I think, for people who've been around for a while to see like Timur and myself. Like, I think if you go back maybe 10 to 15 years, the two most aggressive players with black who would play the King's Indian and try to win every game, it was Timur and myself. And now we're both like playing this old man's Queen Gambit decline type stuff.
Yes, what's going on? Where is chess heading to? Yes, but that's true. Nowadays, I think, especially on your level, on like the very top level, you need to have like the solid choice that you're like, well, 99% sure you can make a draw if you want. And then, of course, plan B and plan C if you wish to. That helps as well.
Right.
That has been a really interesting discussion. I'm just worried that we're gonna need to interrupt it because of this game of Anish Giri. What do you guys think of the current position?
I feel bad for the horse. But I feel
Again,
bad.
horse is mistreated.
Yeah, it's terrible. It's like no respect for horses.
What's their move? Bishop C4? Is that the move? But you just take rook E4 and play C3, and yeah, white should be better, but it's not cleanly winning, at least. It's
What
not
about
completely winning.
bishop c7 after rook e4 or something like this? Some ideas like this?
I thought queen d7 there.
Oh, I'm sorry, queen d4. Queen takes d4 is a
Oh,
check.
sorry, check.
Okay,
Oh, yeah,
okay,
yeah, it's a
okay.
check too. Yeah,
No
okay,
questions
okay.
asked, yeah.
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 Bishop c7, and then also he just plays
Yeah.
c3.
I mean, if black can trade the b for the a pawn somehow, like maybe a6, ba6, ba6, I feel like there are still some chances. But I'm not sure that white has to trade. Like maybe now white can go bishop c7 and b6 possibly.
Yeah, looks very nice.
To create that threat. Oops. Actually, it's funny.
Because I think if b takes a6 happens here, there are definitely good draw. I mean, not good, but there are drawing chances for black with an outside pawn, and the c3 pawn won't be able to go up the board. But yeah, b6 here, or not b6, bishop c7 and b6. Although there's queen e8 and rook e1 too. It's not so easy.
But once you win a few games, it like things start going your way, right? That's just sort of like the weird chess karma. It's like your opponents start somehow blundering a little bit more, and you just keep getting chances. Like Anisha's totally just been winning like almost every single game.
Yeah, he won 5 in a row, including yesterday's 3 wins, today 2 wins. Maybe this is another one of those games where he's going to be feeling confident.
No, I mean, the good thing for Anish is that he has experience with throwing his whole tournament away. Because 2 tournaments ago, wasn't he... No, but I mean, 2 tournaments ago, wasn't he leading the tournament with 3 rounds to go and then he didn't qualify?
And that's important because he's going to be more cautious about it. He's not guaranteed to qualify just because he's leading.
Well, no, I'm saying that now that he had that really insane experience, he's not taking his foot off the gas. Like I think during the previous event with when he was leading with 3 rounds ago, he's like, okay, I mean, I'm just gonna make it, and then I think he lost 2 games in a row or something, and all collapsed. But now I think he's since he had that experience, I think that he's totally on a roll here, and he's not gonna take his foot off the gas because he knows what happened before.
Well, I mean, you play him tomorrow, so maybe you could send him down to 8th again. I feel like in this format, 2 losses can completely kick you out, like, of the top 2. It's nuts. You just tumble down. So,
yeah, I mean that's why it's that's why it's so good that you have a big field, because things can happen. I mean, that's also why, like, you never take it for granted. Like, it's nice to get wins, but it's like there's no time for celebrating whatsoever.
Yep. There's 5 more games. It's always crazy, like the 7th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th spot is always very hotly contested. So, like, we got Nepo, Aronian, Rajabov, Mamidi. I mean, even Grandelius. If Grandelius beats Nepo now, he has more points than him. So, completely...
Exactly.
Completely
Yeah, but I mean, it's fun, though. It's a fun event.
Can we switch for a moment to the Aronian Fan Forest game, just out of curiosity?
Sure.
That King's Safety of White is gonna survive?
The number of pawns is also quite...
Yeah, King's Safety and number
What
of
worries me
pawns,
the most, yeah.
time situation. Is there any chances of holding this for Aronian, who hasn't been having a really good day, unfortunately for him?
Yeah, it's been a tough day for Lev.
He scored, I think, only half a point today out of 4.
Only half a point. Wow.
I'm just gonna double check because that sounds way too low, but I think he really is having a tough day.
Yeah, he's half a point out of 4 today.
Wow.
And he's, I mean,
And
in a
yesterday
very shaky
he scored
situation
3.5.
right now.
Yeah, oof, that's going very downhill.
Oh, wow, that is not a lot of points.
That's
not very good at math, but I told that. Wow. Jeez.
well.
I mean,
things
I think it's in these events, like especially day to day, how you start off is really important. I think if you start off with like a loss, like the way that Levon did today, it really sort of sours your mood from the beginning. And with 5 games, if you don't bounce back right away, it just psychologically, I think you're just in a bad state of mind for the rest of the day.
Niels. I look back. He's up a pawn in an endgame. He's down 8 minutes, which.
It'll be a draw. I think it'll be a draw. Just a guess.
He'll hold it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Niels held a very, very tense game against Anish. He was black. He had like 10 seconds. He made a move with 1 second on the clock, and he held. Actually, he held on, and he ended up drawing, not losing. So,
Wow.
It was close.
I mean, I think everyone can put it together. I mean, this field, they're no gimmies whatsoever. So I think everyone that they're gonna have their moments, and I mean, especially like playing Niels or playing Jordan, you just really hope that it's one of those times when they aren't playing insanely well, kind of. But everyone is capable of winning games, as we're seeing in this event.
Did you know that Alan Pichot was 22? He's a young guy. I had no idea. I thought he was like 30, 40.
I thought it was like 24, 25. I vaguely remember hearing about him during like the Gibraltar tournament. I want to say like 5 or 6 years ago, because I think he was playing there, and also this other Argentinian, Federico Ponce Perez, and they were like the 2 junior players from Argentina. So I was familiar with him, but I actually thought he was a couple years older.
Oh, apparently that's funny. He tweeted. I don't know if he tweeted
right now.
No, not now. But apparently, during the event, he said, "At times, I wonder if I'm playing against human beings."
Whoa! Is that why there are ear checks? Wait a second.
Oh, I think he meant it in a complimentary way. I don't think.
I know.
Jeez.
And for
Listen.
him, it's just such a huge honor to be playing in the field in the first place. He qualified to the event, as we are emphasizing. For him, this is the strongest tournament he has ever played in his career.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think his preparation has been good. I mean, he was very unfortunate that great preparation he showed against Daniil in the first game today that he wasn't able to convert at the end and win that game. But he had great preparation there. The game against me as well. So he's doing quite well. I think the hardest thing also is that when you're like the new player or perceived to be the lowest ranked player in the field, again, it's that concept where everyone sees you, everyone like you have that target on your back, and everyone's definitely going to try their hardest to beat you. And I think that's what makes it really hard. If it's like your first event like this.
Alexandra, what was your first event that you kind of broke through, and then you're kind of maybe in the same spot that like Picho is in now, where you're among the other greats, and you have to like, fight all of them and make a name for yourself and not tumble. How was that first experience like?
I had a very good first big experience in my career, because already at the age of 17 I reached the final of the Women's World Chess Championship knockout in Moscow. Surprise! I mean, it was a huge surprise to everyone and to myself, because nobody expected. And so I reached the final, and it just means that already after this tournament, everybody, took me seriously. Okay, before that, nobody probably knew me or did not consider me as a favorite. But then after this championship in 2001, well, I was already among them, among the sharks, at least in the women competitions. So I didn't really have hadn't had this experience of being an underdog for a long time, and somehow I jumped over so fast that skipped this stage very.
I think it's something that Levi and I will never know how it feels. You and Hikaru have been the favorites of most of your events, and Levi and I are the underdogs all the time.
Yeah,
True.
I remember.
It's such a good feeling. I think I don't know. I often envy people who don't really need to prove anything or don't need to win, or they can just go and play chess, and if they play badly, then it's fine. I mean, there's gonna be more tournaments and nobody's gonna say or look at you and say, look, probably it's like the big aunt is coming, or she's not the one she used to be, or it's like all this speeches that people tend to to give every time a top player shows a bad result. They kind of put extra pressure on you, and I envy, in a good way, those who can just enjoy the game and play and just go and don't really care about the result or your rating points or something else. And well, that's a big difference, I think.
Which
Thanks,
is
Anna,
why
for making us feel better about being noobs.
So enjoy your
It has its advantages. It has its advantages. True.
that is why I am not starting my Grandmaster journey anytime soon. So
I see.
No, but it reminds me. I played this game against Peter Savidler in I think it was in Hanti. There was a FIDE Grand Prix in 2015. Anyway, we played this game. It was very tense, and somewhere around move 35, I offered him a draw. And the engine said that Peter was much better and he should not have taken the draw. And I remember talking to Peter the next day, and he was saying how after that game, his cell phone, all these people from Russia were texting. They're like, "Why did you take the draw? What are you doing?" They were so critical of him for taking that draw. So, what Alexandra says, I totally get. It's just one of those things where you guys won't ever have to deal with that. And it's quite nice, I think.
But at the same time, I always look at the tennis players or the soccer players and think, oh my God, it's so much worse. It's 100,000,000 times worse for them, because there were so many tragic situations when a goalkeeper made a blunder and let the ball inside, and this goalkeeper then was killed or shot or humiliated. There's so much tragedy behind those. Okay, well, it's sport after all. It's game, okay. I mean, we love this attention, but it's still we need to stop and understand that. We just play. It doesn't really matter. The result doesn't matter so much. It can hurt. It can. We can get dissatisfied with the outcome, but still, we need to understand.
In the famous words of goaltender Ilya Brizgalov, it's only game. Why you have to be mad? It's one of the most legendary. Alexandra, you know this interview? He's I think
He's an NHL goaltender. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know anymore. This is a very old interview. He might be retired now, but that's where this legendary. Why do you have to be mad? It's just, and that's hockey, which can be a very violent sport. So, you know. Chess doesn't have to be.
I mean, sometimes to make you feel better, you just need to look wider and compare your situation with someone else's. And I think we're quite fortunate to have what we have. I mean, to have our careers, to be able to play chess, even online when the world is closed with this pandemic. And so there are, I mean, quite a lot of positive things to focus on. And that's great. That's great.
Wise words, but definitely.
I feel bad because there's just a niche slowly working on Shakhriyar, but like they're both spending a lot of time thinking, so we can't even.
Are you sure this is so good for Anish though? After Queen C6, if Queens come off here, I mean, I assume technically it's still winning, but it feels like there are a lot of practical chances for Black here.
I just very much like the bishop coming to d4. That looks optically very nice. I don't know if it's. Right. I don't know if it's winnable, but also if C and B get traded and you end up with 3-2, is that how easy is? It seems significantly harder once you trade CB, because everything's on the same side.
What is the evaluation, of this position? I mean,
of this
endgame?
If C pawn and B pawn come off here, it's probably a draw for humans at least. But like I would almost argue if you reach an endgame, like if queens come off and you can give up the C and B and also the black F pawn, the 2 versus 2, that also probably is a draw in human play. So basically white has to not give up this C pawn, I think. That's really keep it. Now again, queen C6 here, right? Or maybe there's knight D4 there. Maybe that's Anish's idea. That must be his idea here.
Bishop G3 is also good.
Very unpleasant for black anyway. Very unpleasant. He does.
Oh, there's also knight H4. Knight H4 is threatening to just win here.
He does play queen C6.
So now knight D4.
No.
Immediately.
See, we're headed for this line. We're headed for this line. Knight D4, queen F3, rook F3, and I don't know, like rook B6, rook F7, B4 or something. And so we're headed for this end game, I think, with the 2 versus 2.
Can't I play queen to D3, trying to pin this rook and to create like knight H4 threat? I know he played knight D4 already. Okay, anyway.
Yeah, I mean, Anish is looking for the technical win, but the problem with the technical win here is that, like I said, I don't know how. I mean, for a computer, it probably wins this like very easily, but for humans, after queen F3, rook F3, rook B6, rook F7, B4, I don't think it's easy at all to win this.
We're gonna get exactly that. There was a moment in the game against Niels where Anish in a low time. Well, he had like 1:50, so about 2 minutes, and he had a very odd, aggressive move to continue his advantage and continue pressuring. Seems the same way here, like he can keep the queens on and play queen d3, so it seems like it's like, I don't know, it seems like standard Anish protocol. You completely kill all the counterplay, and also he doesn't have to take risk, right? So he just gets this position. If he wins, great, and if he doesn't win, and everything you said, by the way, rook f7, b4.
Yeah.
And
yeah, but I mean, there's a flip side to this, which is that when you become too much like that and you try to take all the complications out of the game, when your opponents go for complications, you can start feeling a little bit uneasy in those sorts of situations. So I mean, it goes both ways. By the way, this probably is just winning, right? Because white can go rook d7 at the end of this line, and then there's no way to stop knight f5 or bishop e5. Maybe you have king g6 there. Not sure.
Take before. Tick, tick.
Yeah, takes rook d7, and then I guess king g6 maybe, or rook b6. I think this is going to be a draw. By the way, I'm going to predict this will be a draw.
Nepo and Grandelius was a draw also.
Yeah.
Karyakin and Anton is a draw. People have been asking me to go look at Alirez's
Karakin is a
game.
draw. No, Karakin is pushing. He's trying to win. No, a5. It's not a draw. No.
Oh, sorry. Did I say?
Oh,
No,
yeah. This is no. I mean, but who's pushing here? Is White? I mean, Karyakin's trying to win, but after pawn takes pawn.
No, Karyakin's game is still going. Nepo Grandelius was a draw. Sorry, maybe I meant Rajabov Carlsen. I don't know, but yeah, Karyakin's game is still very much moving. There's still.
Yeah. I mean, I don't like White's position at all here, but
Where
maybe
is
it's
his
okay.
knight heading to? Knight to b1. He's just protecting the pawn on c3. Then it's a bad sign, right?
Yeah. No, but this I don't know why, but like this Sergey has had great troubles, I think, against Anton. He played him in one of the previous events, and he lost a crazy game with White also. So
Right, and some teams he went. I think he lost to him as well. And the Russian team barely, I don't know, made a draw versus Spain or barely won. I do remember some problems against the Spanish national team. For our
well, that probably
guys.
as without going into stories, I'm sure that would have led to a very interesting team meeting after that match for the Russians, right?
Probably, but boys, I mean, men, they gather separately. I mean, we kind of make it separate. We separate our meetings.
Ah, okay. No, but what I meant is I've heard some stories from like the Russian team championship about like the team captains and when someone doesn't perform, they can yell at a grandmaster and these sorts of things. I've heard quite a few stories. So
Well,
I was just saying,
yes, but mostly at women somehow. I've never really heard of such behavior for men. I mean, for coaches towards the men top players. We've had, some problems in the women's national team, yes, but not vice versa.
As a person who has never represented any national team, I am abstaining from comments. Maybe I'll go to U.S. Virgin Islands. They have like one player in the whole country, and I will be their Olympic representative. Well, let's do that. Let's just transfer federation to like a country that has no chess players. It'll be right off the coast of the States, and
Anna played for her national team. We played.
Exactly. I feel. I feel called out for something actually I've done. I used to.
All right, bad. Listen, I just wanted to take the fellow IM with me, but if you want to stay there, that's fine. I can't transfer to your federation, so I'm gonna have to. Well, I mean, the doors are open. Levon just transferred right to the U.S. national team, so why can't you transfer to? I don't know any Hungarian billionaires, but maybe. Are there any? Can I get in touch with one? Just help me.
There's a very famous one, Levy, you're forgetting about, who actually likes chess too. But anyway.
So you see, everything works out pretty well.
Soros, of course.
Soros is Hungarian? Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, wow. Well, that's a whole nother can of worms we're not opening on this channel. Oh boy.
Yeah.
So you can get ready for the Chess Olympia 2022 in Moscow, right?
Yeah, Moscow's very nice. I'd go back to Moscow.
Yeah, actually, it's right next to the place where I was skating yesterday, where the Olympiad is supposed to take place. And actually, it's in the same Luzhniki, in the same sport complex where we played last time the World Rapid and Blitz Championship. So the same complex, just a little bit further. We played in the main stadium, soccer stadium. Area, and the Olympiad is supposed to take place nearby. It's a very nice area of Moscow. I like it very much.
What is the experience like with Aeroflot? We were talking about Aeroflot earlier because a game was it Hikaru's game that followed another game that was played in Aeroflot? What is Aeroflot like? It seems like one of the most intense tournaments ever. It's just so competitive. So
it's an open tournament. And they used to have, I think, like the A tournament was supposed or is meant to be for the players of 25, 50 and above. So you can imagine the open for 25, 50 and above. And every time, I mean, even if you struggle there, it's like similar to those Grand Prix. You get a Grandmaster every round. And if your games don't really go your way, then you can end up scoring 0 out of 9. But it doesn't take a place. It didn't take place this year, but I think well, they have plans to renew it next year.
Yeah, it seems with the rating cutoff that it can get worse and worse because worst person you will play is like 2401 because they have 24 right to 2550. So
very true. Yeah, I mean, I remember even when I was young, it was a tournament I heard a lot about. I never actually played in it, but it was one of those tournaments that, like, I think if you won it, many people consider it to be on par. Maybe not with winning a super tournament, but like winning a tournament full of like 2600s, because every round you have to play someone who's really good. And also, as Alexandra knows very well, and I know too, there always are a lot of underrated Russians. Like anytime
Or Indians nowadays.
yes,
yeah, it's true. But like I remember when I played the World Blitz in Rapid, there were like always like these random like 2450 or 2500 guys who were playing like 2600 level. Like they were just much stronger than their rating. And so I feel like also like I think if you get really strong in Russia, like it speaks to how strong you are as a chess player in general, because that's where there's probably the most cutthroat competition for men and women, I think.
Shahryar just hung a rook.
Oh, wait. Oh no.
Oh,
Did he mean
what
to go
happened?
other rook to
He
E8?
mouse slipped? Or
Oh.
he pre-moved?
He just literally just forgot his rook was hanging.
So go back one move? No, I think he meant to put the other rook on E8, mate. Or no,
No
that's actually not a mouse
way.
slip, because there's no way you can't touch the other rook. Yeah, he just forgot. He just forgot.
Oh my.
Well, that happens.
Well, Anish Giri now has 8 points. There you go.
Good start.
Yeah, this is literally what I
True.
just said. It just goes your way. I mean, I don't know if...
I have this theory, I've trying to create this theory to understand why among top players, sometimes one player shows better results than the others. I mean, considering, consider all, the knowledge is about equal and the level, the skills, but why one is winning and the other is not? So I have this theory nowadays about energetical levels that work. I mean, somehow if you keep winning, that means that somehow everything, and energetically as well, I mean, in this energy fields that exist in the world, you manage to get everything work right. I don't know how to explain it, but it's some and I'm not sure it exists, but that's the only explanation sometimes that I can give to some situations that keep happening when like a top grandmaster blunders in one move and or some other miracles happen. So this kind of
Well, I actually to sort of I try and put that a little simpler so people can understand. Like it's like why did Fabiano have this tournament in St. Louis? And I think it was 2015, the crazy tournament where he started out like 7-0 or something. And it's like, if you ask Fabiano what he did differently, like why did he have that score? I mean, he would say, well, like everyone will say when they have a really great result, it's like, well, the preparation worked and I played well, but it's not like, oh wow, I did this one thing and like that's like the reason that I had this crazy result. But I think also from like my personal experience when I got up to number 2 in the world, I felt that I was much more positive about everything than probably I have been since, frankly. So I think there's something to be said for like positivity and just really believing in yourself. And of course, it sounds silly, like of course Anish or Jan, or I mean like Jan specifically, like I'm sure he believes in himself just as much as I do or Magnus does or any of the rest of us. But he's of course in this tournament doing terribly. So sometimes I think it is a little bit like inexplicable. But yeah, I think it's like when you're positive and things start going well, you start really like believing in yourself. And I would also say, I feel like for myself, I feel much better during this event than I did during the last one somehow. Like I just like going into this event, I felt better about it. I feel like good things are going to happen.
Firouzja has won.
Oh, beautiful checkmate.
Yeah,
Wow.
knight f5. Look at that. Hits the rook. Can't play rook f7. Well, you can play it. It's a legal move, but knight f5, yeah. Aronian Van Forest is another one. This one's gonna go for a while. Jordan trying to beat. Or how is Jordan doing? Oh, okay.
Not
This would
too well.
be a huge win for him.
Oh, I thought you mean in the tournament. The 3 points.
No, I know,
that
but if he
has
wins,
had
then
so
he has
far,
4. Then he has 4.
Yeah,
It's-
he's in the hunt.
he still has chances with 4. You're right. And for Aronian, well, that's gonna be a tie then between the two, because yeah, Jordan is on 3, Aronian on 4, but Aronian is losing. So yeah, this is for the bottom 8. This is gonna be again very tough, and Sergei Karyakin is still in the bottom 8 as well. Shahryar Mamedov, Timur Rajabov, Nepomniachtchi on a tie between all those with 4.5. It's still tricky.
Well, Sergei is pushing still. I mean, they have seconds. Karyakin versus Anton.
I think Karyakin should win this.
Yeah, I think so.
Knight versus bishop, especially, he should win.
G5, G6.
Can you take and go queen h5 though?
Probably. That's the
Yeah,
only
that's
reason
why.
I had some. Is there no
Sergei-
No,
mate
I
on
mean
the black side?
Sergei's gonna win this though. Yeah, Sergei's gonna win this pretty easily, I think.
So-
And for him, that will mean 5 out of 10. That's at least looking better than the current standings for sure. 5 points.
King f4 is
They're gonna
brutal.
be 8th place.
Yep.
This is such a dream position for Sergei. I mean, he can just make like very quiet moves and keep improving his position. And so David Anton's wanted us to think a lot here. It's not David Anton doesn't have obvious instant moves to play now, so it's just going to be painful. Like Sergei will probably play like f3 even or something.
For David Anton, like if he has another bad event, is he gonna come back? Like I've seen people complaining about this. They're like, he's struggling. Why don't they give someone else a chance? But he keeps getting voted in. So what is gonna be the protocol there?
I mean, my take on it is that probably they've changed a lot of the regulations already and various rules with the tournament. So I don't know why they can't change that as well and just invite someone. I would actually argue that there's a certain Russian player who's been overlooked through most of these tournaments, which is Vladislav Artemiev, who hasn't had any opportunities to play, at least in this cycle of the events. And so I think there is some argument to be made that they probably should change that, because it seems as though the reason David Anton keeps getting in is that the vast majority of paying subscribers on Chess24 are from Spain, which, I mean, that's great. I mean, Pepe Cuenca is amazing, and there's obviously a lot of Spanish content, but perhaps they should change it. Also, what is Queen G6 here, by the way? Isn't your king kind of stuck on f4 here?
Yeah.
Maybe
But
not.
Queen D2,
E5.
King goes to G3, and there is no more checks.
Yeah.
Queen can go to H2 though. Oh.
Yeah, I was just worried about checking Queen G1, and I mean, I don't know. It's probably winning, but it's kind of scary.
Yes, it is. Is it winning?
So Queen H2, King
I have no
E3, and
idea.
then Queen G1.
Yeah.
How does he get out of this?
King D2, Queen F2, King
F2.
C1, Queen F1,
Queen F1. Yeah, it's very hard.
and King B2, Queen B5,
Right, exactly.
King A1, Queen F1. How
But maybe
does
you can
he-
go King C3. Maybe you can go or something. But I mean, King C3,
Wow.
Queen B3, King D2. But I mean, this feels so far out from what it should have
Yes.
Yeah, wait.
been. Wait, what is Queen H2?
Yeah,
Why?
why is he
Yeah.
going to that square?
He wants Queen F4 check. But now
He
there
wants
should be
Queen
some
C7,
triangulation.
right? After King C3.
Yeah, or King C1, Queen F4. That's why I did this. But there's probably some triangulation here.
Isn't King B1 avoiding a draw? King C1, Queen F4, King B. Oh, there's Queen B8, King A1.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but
yeah.
the point is that the king and pawn, but the bishop versus knight is losing. That's why you can't. That's why Queen H2 doesn't work. Because you can just run the king, and after Queen F6, you just trade, and I assume you're winning.
What's
somehow
going
in that
on?
endgame.
Why does he go to D3?
I
Maybe
guess
it's
it's
good.
winning.
Bishop B5, King C3, Queen C7, King B2.
Yeah, and
So-
you shield the king. Yep.
And the B line is covered already. It's like the
Oh, you
shield.
use-
Nice. The
You
bishop
use them.
stopping it.
Mhm.
Yeah, Karyakin seems very like calm under low time. He'll just
Ooh.
B2 and
Look, he goes to B4. He plays queen B4, king B4.
Whoa.
Wow.
Okay, so saying that after queen c4, the king will sit on a5 and just
And
chilling.
queen C7, he's certain that it's a
but
win.
why? Why did he do that? Did he have to do that? Isn't King B2 just
He's
completely
making
winning?
fun of his opponent. He's showing the power of his king.
That's- Okay, check, check. Take another pawn with check, and take I don't know, take something else.
So many pre-moves, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
exa-
yeah. Mhm.
Although
and
you,
then-
you should be careful.
And then at the end, you give another check to guard your knight, and you take the bishop. Oh,
Well, you
it's
can check on G5, E5. You can check on G5 and E5 actually. Yeah, it's just a classic triangulation. King G8, Queen G5, and now Queen F5, and you just check. And
You
now the king
trade.
can't. G7 and H8. There's Queen E5, and G8 you take D5. Yeah. Nice.
This is
Simply winning.
wow. King H6. No
Well, a
mate.
much better day for Sergey today.
Yes. Yeah.
Actually, I noticed that I don't know why and what is the reason, but I think it's the second or third tournament in a row that he's starting very poorly. Like the first day he collapses, I mean, he loses everything, and then he's coming back. But he's just giving such a huge advantage to his opponents that they're way ahead of him. I mean, in terms of points, that it's very difficult to get back after such a low start.
Yeah.
He does go
Well,
for
he's
this
gonna
way.
win that. Yeah.
He gets
Beautiful knight on D4.
Yes.
bishop D1, and then H5, E6, H6, E7, and actually
it's
nothing.
over.
He just resigns.
Yeah, because the knight dominates the bishop here on D1.
Aronian beat Van Forest.
Oh,
Mate!
come on.
It's a mate!
Oh, I know. I know this checkmating pattern. I think I checkmated Valentina Gunina. I mean, she was the one pushing the whole game, and she had the queen and 2 pawns, and I had the queen and 1, and I checkmated her somehow similarly. Yeah, that happens.
We just left this game aside, thinking that Jordan will convert the endgame, and now he's checkmated.
Wow.
And actually, he spent 42 seconds on queen f5. At least that's what the score sheet shows. 42 seconds. It's not
my-
like an instant mistake. He was hesitating to go there.
That's brutal.
Oof.
And I think that's it. That was the last guy. I looked and I saw the result, and I'm like, wait, I'm sorry? What? Oh, man. No,
Yeah.
It's just mate. It's just mate. The dovetail checkmate, this is called.
That's why we say to all our to all the beginners that you need to check all the possible checks first, because checks can be brutal.
Yep. I wonder what he missed. I guess he just
Queen
missed
h8, yes, he
queen
just
H8.
didn't see this check.
That's like,
That's crazy.
or maybe I don't know.
Absolutely.
Maybe he saw King G5, King G4 or something, and then he just forgot about Queen H4. It's crazy. Wow.
Yeah,
that's brutal.
that's really unfortunate for Jordan. Really unfortunate.
Yeah.
But I mean,
For his tournament
but the thing is,
too.
he had to win though, and I don't know if there was an easy way to win
Yeah.
at that point already. It looks very tricky because your king is so open. But wow.
So that means we have the top 4, but we also have 2 guys with 6 and 2 guys with 5, 3 guys with 5. So
Yeah, for Levin Aronian now, he's came
He's
from
back,
a lost
yeah.
position with a win. It's half. He's got 5 points out of 10, 50%.
and that finishes our second day. Anna is going to be streaming after. So, Alexandra, thank you again for joining. If we need Hikaru to make another quick draw, we'll give you a call.
Yeah, let me know. I'll be waiting. Yes, tomorrow, last round. If
I'm glad I
Yes.
have the 4 cameras. Now it's easy. We just... oh, yeah, let me just show the standings, everybody. Sorry. This is what it looks like. I don't know why I read the results to you rather than just showing you, but it's been long. I'm 7.5 hours into streaming, so my brain isn't exactly functioning. Yeah. So to Hikaru we say good luck for tomorrow, and to Alexandra we say hope to see you again soon, and to Anna we say hope you have a fun stream. And that's she will handle everybody. So this was fun, guys. we'll all
Yeah,
talk soon.
Great. All right.
See you
you,
guys tomorrow.
everyone.
Good luck,
Yes.
Hikaru. Good luck.
Have a good one. Okay.
All the
everybody.
best.